organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
After 3 days of deliberation of over 100 potential jurors, the murder trial of Brandon Brown has finally begun. We have the details up next.
Local Fight. We take a closer look at the role local Iowans are playing in finding peace for Syria.
And in sports, a new wrestling season begins this Saturday. We're breaking down Brand's bunch in just a bit.
We have all that at the top of the hour. Daily Iowan TV starts right now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning in this evening. I'm Reed Chandler.
And I'm Brianna Jett.
The jury for the first-degree murder case involving Brandon Brown was sworn in today. Brown is accused of the fatal shooting of Donnell Lindsay back in summer of 2012 here in Iowa City. His 12-person jury, consisting of 7 women and 5 males, heard the opening statements today. Pick up tomorrow's Daily Iowan for more in-depth coverage.
In terms of the Affordable Care Act, a majority of Iowans already had an extra year to make the switch, and now the rest of the nation does too. President Obama announced today changes allowing insurance companies to keep their consumer plans for an extra year. These administration changes could be extended if problems persist in the coming year. A small population of Iowans will benefit from this recent change, but President Obama was quick to raise caution, saying this fix won't solve every problem for every person, but it's going to help a lot of people.
And it's been 6 days since Super Typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines, but the hard part isn't over. One of the island's largest cities held its first mass burial today. Dozens of unidentified bodies were laid to rest in a grave the size of an Olympic swimming pool. But today also marked a big step forward, and a U.S. aircraft arrived in the capital city today, bringing hygiene kits and supplies. The United Nations has confirmed that 4,460 people have died due to the typhoon. Facebook is now offering a way to donate to relief efforts through the Red Cross. At the top of the homepage, there is a button, and when clicked, a prompt asking for credit card information appears. But are students willing to donate through social media?
I like to give to certain organizations, but going through Facebook, not knowing what organization's going through would make me kind of leery.
I would donate online, but maybe not through like Facebook or social media. You actually go to the website that you're supposedly donating to.
So it sounds like it's not a question of whether students will donate, but if they are willing to give their credit card information online.
The Syrian conflict is now 2.5 years old, and the media's coverage of the event has significantly decreased. War is still happening, and some Iowans are finding a way to fight back peacefully. Daily Iowan reporter Megan Horahan has more on how one Eastern Iowa group is raising awareness.
A stitch of a sewing machine begins one project for Peace, Iowa. School bags, a little thing we take for granted, but for Syrian children forced to leave their homes, it could mean a lot. This volunteer-based organization plans on making at least 50 school bags to send to refugees residing in Jordan. They fill the bags with colored pencils, notebooks, and rulers to give children a distraction from what's going on around them.
I just think to have their own bag that they can keep their stuff in, I just think would mean a lot to them, to have something fun to do and something where they can learn again and do what kids are supposed to be doing.
Peace Iowa allows children to help other children worlds away. Yet even college students find it difficult to find ways to help.
For me to help, the best thing would be to maybe donate, but I don't know what ways I could donate or even where to begin to help.
Syria may seem worlds away from us here in Iowa City, but some UI students feel like we should be more concerned.
Maybe keeping informed, trying to find information and seeking it out is probably the best way to do something.
We can always raise money and donations to people, because we know that there are people affected by chemical warfare. We can donate money for medications to help them get better.
Human rights isn't always on the forefront of people's minds, but getting young people involved can change the world's narrative. This is Megan Horahan, Daily Iowan TV.
And still more to come on Daily Iowan TV. Digging deep in biblical times, we have the story on how one UI professor contributed to a hit series on the History Channel.
And in sports, full highlights from the women's hoops third victory of the season last night in Carver.
We have it all up, but first, let's have Kelsey Kniff come in for our weather forecast this week. Kelsey?
Hey guys, today's warm temperatures feel great and will continue into tomorrow. In the morning, the temperature is going to be 39 degrees, but by afternoon, the temps will rise up to 50 degrees with sunny skies. In the evening, the temperature will drop to 41 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Looking at the rest of this week, grab those rain boots because Saturday we're looking at a high of 57 degrees with an 80% chance of rain. Sunday it's going to be 61 with partly cloudy skies. Monday it will be partly cloudy with a high of 37, and Tuesday will reach a high of 39 with sunny skies. Wednesday will be the same temp, mostly with cloudy skies though. That's all that I have for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
A new documentary series on the History Channel features one of the University of Iowa's faculty.
And his name is Professor Bob Cargill, who helped in the production of a 6-part series entitled Bible Secrets Revealed.
Let's pass it over to Laura Gibbs, who's on this story for more.
Hey guys, believe it or not, some members of our University of Iowa faculty are doubling as movie stars. I sat down with them to hear just how they are using their expertise on the big screen.
For the past few months, Professor Bob Cargill, a religious studies teacher at the University of Iowa, has been working on a special project in conjunction with the History Channel and Los Angeles-based Prometheus Entertainment. The name of that project? Bible Secrets Revealed, a documentary series touching on the biblical topics ranging from the many interpretations of prophecies in Scripture to archaeological discoveries dating back to Roman times. The first segment of the series, Lost in Translation, premiered last night on the History Channel. One of Professor Cargill's colleagues, Professor Jordan Smith, helped Cargill lead a team of students on a summer excursion in Israel where some of the documentary was filmed.
Professor Cargill approached me about 2 years ago with this idea that he really wanted to be involved with an archaeological project run out of Azekah in Israel, headed by Tel Aviv University. His specialty is working with digital modeling, and so they want him to be there to create a digital model of the archaeological site, which would be far superior to hand-drawn pictures.
While he's worked in television before and appeared in several other documentaries offering his expert insights, Professor Cargill said that Bible Secrets Revealed is unique in its scholarly approach.
What we wanted to do with this documentary is actually to let the scholarship be the thing that drives the documentary, and let the different interpretations of these difficult passages within the text to be the quote-unquote the controversial subject matter.
The two professors said they're really proud to be representing the University of Iowa in this series. And be sure to catch the next episode of Bible Secrets Revealed on the History Channel on November 20th. Take it away, guys.
And now a look at what's happening beyond Iowa. Peace talks between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. The two spoke on the phone about a proposed peace conference aimed at ending the 3-year civil war in Syria. The civil war has taken over 120,000 lives.
Paul McCartney also has a message for the Russian president through song. The Beatles star wrote a letter using the classic Back in the USSR, saying, "Gee, it's good to be back home," and asked, "Could you make that come true for Greenpeace prisoners?" The full letter can be found on his official website.
And former Boston Mafia boss James Whitey Bulger was sentenced to life in prison Thursday. The 84-year-old was convicted of murder, extortion, money laundering, and weapons charges dating back to the 70s. His informant within the FBI, John Connolly Jr., was also sentenced to 10 years in prison for tipping him off.
Well, Reed, pregame is getting their own bye week tonight.
That's right, Brianna. No pigskin on the program tonight, but of course plenty of news from both the hardwood and the mat on the way. So with that, let's toss it over to Lauren Moss, who is standing by in the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio with more. Lauren?
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. No pregame on the program tonight as the Black and Gold rest up during their final bye week of the season as they prepare for the clash with the Wolverines next Saturday. Plenty of hoops news and notes to get through tonight, starting with Fran McCaffrey's bunch, who are back in action Thursday evening, welcoming in Maryland Eastern Shore to the unfriendly confines of Carver Hawkeye Arena. And while the matchup may seem like a gimme for the rising Black and Gold, the Hawks head man on the hardwood isn't having it, especially after a close call just a few days earlier against Nebraska Omaha.
I think this team is better offensively, clearly. but our effectiveness in execution and overall, commitment to defending side ball screen action, especially when it's continuous like that, was not what it needed to be for this team. So that was disappointing.
And while men's hoops may have the spotlight this evening, the Hawkeye women were busy putting on a fantastic display last night, showing no added fatigue over their overtime number 14 Dayton from earlier in the week. Our own Whitney Blakemore was courtside and has highlights. Whitney?
Lisa Bluter and her undefeated Hawkeyes back at Carver Hawkeye Arena after defeating number 14 Dayton to face the Arkansas Pine Bluff Lady Lions Wednesday night. We picked this one up early in the first half. Samantha Logic with the steal, pass to Melissa Dixon, who drives it down with a pretty pass to Tria Taylor. She gets the easy lay-in here. Hawks up 11-0, 7 minutes in. Later in the first, Logic with the dish to Taylor again. The senior goes up and under for 2+1. The hoop and the harm, part of 36-9 run to start the game for Blunder's bunch. Lady Lions trying to recover from the early Hawkeye lead, but just can't do it. Logic with the rebound, toss to Allie Disperhoff, who drops this dime to Dixon, who shot from behind the arc, gives the Hawks a 49-18 lead going into the break. Herky looking for more of the same in the second half, and he would get exactly that. First, a little back and forth between Dixon and Callie Peschel as Dixon takes it up for 2. The bench loving what they're seeing. Bethany Doolittle squaring up to put the finishing touches on the game. Her jumping putting this game even more out of reach. Final score in this one, Iowa 76, Arkansas Pine Bluff 38. Lisa Bluter's squad improving to 3-0 on the season. Whitney Blakemore, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Men and women's hoops both with impressive starts to their 2013-2014 campaign. But Iowa wrestling, will they be getting things started at weekend at Luther College? We're going to welcome in our wrestling insider, Cody Goodwin, who will be in Decorah this weekend. And Cody, what should we expect from the Hawks this weekend?
Well, this is really kind of the first opportunity for the Iowa wrestling team. They forewent Russell-Offs this year, which have been an annual staple at the beginning of the schedule. But this isn't taking the place of Russell-Offs. Coach Tom Brands wanted to make that clear. This is an opportunity for Iowa wrestling because even with the results of Russell-Offs shakeout, it's obviously not the way that the lineup's always set. Tony Ramos, top-ranked wrestler at 133 pounds, finished second last year. He actually lost to Russell-Offs 2 seasons ago. So losing the Russell-Offs actually it's not indicative of how the final lineup will shake out for March and Big Tens when that time comes. But this is really an opportunity for Iowa wrestlers to make their name. It's not the most daunting field full of Division II and Division III teams, and so we should really be seeing Iowa dominate the field and try to really, establish themselves as tough Iowa guys to try and make this lineup.
Right, and what individual matchups are you looking forward to seeing the most?
I'd say the most intriguing matchup is probably at 125 pounds. There's 2 blue-chip recruits there in Corey Clark and Thomas Gilman. One's an Iowa guy, one's a Nebraska guy. They're both 4-time state champs. They compiled a 40-5 record last year as freshmen. Now they're into their redshirt freshman year looking to replace Matt McDonough at 125 pounds. It'll be interesting to see if they make the finals this year.
Definitely. We'll look forward to it. Well, thank you for coming in, Cody. Coverage on that meet coming this Sunday as well as highlights from everything black and gold over the weekend. But for now, Brianna and Reed, back to you guys at the desk.
We're bigger, we're deeper, and we're more experienced than we've ever been.
But here's White, ducks it through. Evans gets the step on the drive, score it, and a foul.
Now he throws it down.
Barber with the playback to Aaron White.
Well, that's all we have for you guys tonight, but be sure to check our Friday edition of the Daily Iowan.
Read about what the new changes at the Iowa City Public Library are.
And what brought University of Iowa student government to our nation's capital this week? Find out.
Thanks for tuning in this weekend. We'll be back at the same time on Sunday, or you can catch us online anytime at dailyiowan.com.
Have a great night.